What's up, Front Athletes? Cass Fernandez back with another video for you guys here today. Here to talk about an important subject: how not to be nervous before games. One of my athletes submitted this question to me, and I got to thinking a lot about it. And I had another athlete of mine that left a club team, joined a new club team, and won MVP. So I decided to release this video a little bit early. So this is the key, or these are the keys to not being nervous before games. And I have a couple of examples. So the anxiety and the nervousness and that clenching your chest that you feel before games, that's completely normal, guys. I get that still to this day, working with new clients, doing things I'm afraid of. Last week, I went with this church group and played some volleyball. Made me a little nervous. I got anxious. When I went out to a place called Whiskey Row in downtown Gilbert, that made me a little nervous. So point being, guys, is that as student athletes, you're going to get this before games, and that's completely normal. That means you're human. And at some point, you want to be nervous because that's going to activate your fight or flight system. But you need to control it. So I recommend a book to a lot of my athletes, and this is a free Division I scholarship. It's called The Inner Game of Tennis. And in the book, it's one of the first keys to being able to master your nerves before games, and it's imagining the outcome. Nick Saban does this with his Alabama players, Bill Belichick with the New England Patriots, Tom Brady's become famous for it, Michael Jordan, Phil Jackson, and it's about mastering the mind, guys. So before you play in a game, you need to sit in silence and you need to meditate, okay? There's YouTube apps for it. I send certain of my student athletes these videos on YouTube and these musics and these playlists. And basically what the music is going to do and what the meditation is going to do, and there's guided ones out there, is it's going to be able to relax you and slow your heart rate down. Because when you relax and you slow your heart rate down and you're able to visualize the outcome, or the ball going into the basket, or you swinging the baseball bat and hitting a home run, or you're the quarterback and you throw that touchdown pass, or you're a defensive lineman and you beat your outside tackle and you're able to get a sack, is what you're doing, you're visualizing the outcome you want. See, there's this thing in the universe to a bigger standpoint, and it's the law of attraction. So again, Newton's law, like what goes up must come down. So you got to think right now, if I went to, jump off a building, I'm going to hit the ground. But your mind works like that way too. So if you're before a game and you're breathing really fast and you're focused on missing layups, or your coach yells at you and you start to freak out during games, or you start to tense up and you get nervous during a timeout, you need to breathe and calm down. LeBron James does this. Again, a lot of high-profile athletes do this. There's even an application called Calm that I use with my guys at Benedictine and different stuff. And what you need to learn how to do is you need to learn how to breathe, calm down, and focus. That's why I mentioned the meditation apps earlier. I had an athlete do this during one of his games, and it was before, 2 minutes to go in the game. Team calls a timeout. The ball's about to be inbounded, and he just... And you would be amazed on how 3 to 5 deep breaths during a timeout, or in between series in football, or in the dugout with your eyes closed, you would be amazed, guys, on how this is able to calm your nervousness. But you can't just do it in between a timeout, or at the dugout, or in between series in football. You have to do this in all aspects of life. I'm very passionate about this. I do breathing work every day. There's audio tapes I listen to when I drive to the gym, when I go do errands. There's certain times that I just want to turn my mind off. Sorry about that. And if you can master this, guys, on how to turn your mind off and how to calm yourself down and lower your heart rate, a simple thing that I would start off with this. I would go on to your Spotify, your Pandora, your YouTube, type in meditation relaxation music. I even do this little trick, guys, where I take my thumb and I try to find my brachial pulse. Once I find it, I close my eyes, I take some deep breaths, and in my mind, I'm imagining my heart rate slowing down. I'm visually seeing my heart rate slow down. And after 5 to 10 deep breaths, which maybe takes me 30 seconds, if not under a minute, I notice that I start to relax. It's called accessing your parasympathetic nervous system. And because you guys are on Snapchat and TikTok and Instagram and social media, you have a lot of these emotions, a lot of this anxiety that runs rapid throughout the body. And to be honest with you, you're causing it yourself. So when you work on your breathing, when you work on slowing down, and I know some athletes here hate to hear me say that because maybe you've had a coach or you've had your mom and dad tell you this bullshit about slowing down or this, it's a load of shit. It's not. I'm explaining it to you in a logical way, like the book, again, I refer back to in your game of tennis. So some of your favorite athletes, the Tom Brady's, the LeBron James, the Nick Sabans of Alabama, the Bill Belichick's. There's other coaches, Phil Jackson, there's other coaches and players that have mastered this. And it's not corny, it's really how to calm yourself down. And when you can calm yourself down before a game or during a game, you'll notice that everything starts to slow down, guys. So again, you ever heard that saying when the elite level athletes like the Steph Currys and everything's going really fast and for Steph it just slows down? That's because they're actively practicing breathing and slowing themselves down. Because when you're slowed down and everything's going in slow motion and you realize that your competition, they're still going like this, but you're steadily going like this, you're going to get the results you want out of practice, out of games. And more importantly, guys, this isn't just to how to calm nerves before games. This is before you go on a date with a girl, before you go to Dutch with a group of friends. This is before you go to the mall. This is before you go to your senior prom. This is before you go to a social event with friends and family. Anything you're nervous about, if you can just feel for that brachial pulse on your wrist, and you can take 5 to 10 deep breaths, and you can tell yourself, hey, I'm okay, I'm relaxed, and say that to yourself out loud underneath your breath, you'll notice you'll start getting the outcomes you want. So there's my video, you guys, from Within Athletes. Like, comment, subscribe, and share below how to calm your nerves before a game, how to not be nervous before a game. And you'll find out that if you try some of these techniques and maybe read a couple of these books, that this will help not only with your athletic sport, but with your life in general. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.